been going to lawyers all day today. It was so boring. Okay. Astinus of Palanthus, historian of Kryn. The Wikipedia sat in his chamber, writing. The hour was late, very late, past dark watch, in fact. The aesthetics had long ago closed and barred the doors to the great library. Few were admitted during the day, none at night, but bars and locks were nothing to the man who entered the library and who now stood, a figure of darkness before Astinus. The historian did not glance up. I was beginning to wonder where you were, he said, continuing to write. I have been unwell, the figure replied, its black robes rustling. As if reminded, the figure coughed softly. I trust you are feeling better. Astinus did not raise his head. I am returning to health slowly, the figure replied. Many things tax my strength. Be seated then, Astinus remarked, gesturing with the end of his quill pen to the chair, his gaze still upon his work. The figure, a twisted smile on its face, padded over to the chair and sat down. There was silence within the chamber for the many minutes, broken only by the scratching of Astinus's pen and the occasional cough of the black-robed intruder. Finally, Astinus laid the pen down and lifted his gaze to meet that of his visitor. His visitor drew back the black hood from his face. Regarding him silently for long moments, Astinus nodded to himself. I did not know his face. This face, Vistodonolus, but I know your eyes. There is something strange in them, however. I see the future in their depths. So you have become master of time, yet you do not return with power, as was foretold. Hello. My name is not Vistodonolus, Deathless One. It is Raceland, and that is sufficient explanation for what has happened. Raceland's smile vanished. His eyes narrowed. But surely you knew that. He gestured. Surely the final battle between us is recorded. I recorded the name as I recorded the battle, Astinus said coolly. Would you care to see the entry, Vistodonolus? Raceland frowned. His eyes glittered dangerously. Yeah, not doing the makeup, you know. But Astinus remained unperturbed, leaning back in his chair. He studied the Archmage calmly. So that would be like the what would add me to the Wikipedia. Have you brought what I asked for? I have, Raceland replied bitterly. It's making me cost days of pain and sapped my strength. Else I would have come sooner. Thank you, Stella. And now, for the first time, a hint of emotion shone on Astinus's cold and ageless face. Eagerly, he leaned forward. His eyes shine as Raceland slowly drew aside the folds of his black robes, revealing what seemed an empty crystal globe hovering within his hollow chest cavity like a clear crystalline heart. Is that like saying, good job for not doing any drugs? Even Astinus could not repress a start at this sight, but it was apparently nothing more than an illusion, for with a gesture, Raceland sent the globe floating forward. With his other hand, he drew a black fabric back across his thin chest. Yeah, this book is awesome. It's so weak, though, how much it connects with everything that's going on. As the globe drifted near him, Astinus placed his hands upon it, caressing it lovingly. At his touch, the globe was filled with moonlight. Ooh, that just reminded me of mine. So they put the moon pies at the place in like 3 of them. So it was bringing me out about because there are 3 moons in Dragonlance. And I felt like it was because I was having dreams of having 3 sons. So it's like, you could have 3 daughters too. I would want that. That's a good idea. So let's see. You see the... Oh, wait, where am I? So at his touch, a globe filled with moonlight. Silver red, even the strange aura of the black moon was visible. Beneath the moons whirled vision after vision. So it kind of makes sense that moons represent daughters because of how they would drive me crazy. You see time passing, even as we sit here, Raceland said, his voice tinged with an unconscious pride. And thus, Astinus, no longer will you have to rely on your unseen messengers from the planes beyond for your knowledge of what happens in the world around you. Your own eyes will be your messengers from this point forward. Yes, yes, Astinus breathed. I do like reading. I especially like reading this. I like comparing it to what's going on with me. That's what I'm doing. Measuring the synchronicity. It's amazing. Because the people are from Utah that wrote this, and I am too. And it's very spooky how much they synchronized everything to like what's going on in my life. It's really weird. Like, for example, the companions started their adventure by going northeast to, and in Utah, northeast is where the adventure usually would start because people would go get a keg from Wyoming. And the place is called Zach Seroth, so it makes sense because of like Zach Morris and Sarah from the Labyrinth trying to go to the party, but she's not allowed to. She's a baby to take care of. Thank you. You should check out this series. Look at my other videos on my channel, and you'll really be more interested in what I'm reading here. I don't think people will really be interested until they check out the other videos on my channel, especially like how the world of Kryn is America or whatever. That one's really interesting. Let's see. Yes, yes, Astinus breathed. The eyes that looked into the globe glimmered with tears, the hands that rested upon it shaking. And now my payment, Raceland continued coldly. Where is the portal? Astinus looked up from the globe. Can you not guess? Man of the future and the past? Have you read the histories? Raistlin stared at Astinus without speaking, his face growing pale and chill until it might have been a death mask. Thank you, Stella. Taco Bell, replace napkins. You are right. I have read the histories. So that is why Phistodonolus went to Zalman. Who's Zalman? The Archmage said finally. Astinus nodded wordlessly. Zalman. So letter Z is synchronizing, and then Ha man. H is trading, or putting out the fire before it reaches the wood. And A is carrying, M is going to a better place or a different location. And then the second A is found the care. And then the letter N is lifting or loving, drinking. The Archmage said finally. Astinus nodded wordlessly. Zaman, the magical fortress, located in the plains of Daragoth. Daragoth. Passing around, that would mean passing along the fresher direction of Goth, near Thorbarden, home of the mountain dwarves. And Zaman is in land controlled by the mountain dwarves. Raistlin went on, his voice expressionless as though reading from his textbook. And where, even now, their cousins, the hill dwarves, go, driven by the evil that has consumed the world since the cataclysm, to demand shelter within the ancient mountain home. The portal is the portal is located deep within the dungeons of Zaman. Raistlin said bitterly. Here Phistodonolus fought the great dwarven war. Will fight, Astinus corrected. Will fight, Raistlin murmured. The war that will encompass his own doom. The mage fell silent. Then, abruptly, he rose to his feet and moved to Astinus's desk. Placing his hands upon the book, he turned it around to face him. Astinus observed him with cool, detached interest. You are right, Raistlin said, scanning the still wet writing on the parchment. I am from the future. I have read the chronicles as you pen them. Parts of them, at any rate. I remember reading this entry. One you will write there. He pointed to a blank space, then recited from memory. As of this date, after Dark Watch falling 30, Phistodonolus brought me the globe of present time passing. Astinus did not reply. Raistlin's hand began to shake. You will write that. He persisted, anger grating in his voice. Astinus paused, then What kind of word is that? What the heck? Sorry, I'm kind of dumb for a moment here. Acquiesced. Okay. With a slight shrug of his shoulders. Raistlin sighed, So I am doing nothing that has not been done before. His hand clenched suddenly, and when he spoke again, his voice was tight with the effort it was taking to control himself. Lady Chrysania came to you several days ago. She said you were writing as she entered and that after seeing her, you crossed something out. Show me what was that? What that was? Astinus frowned. Show me. Raistlin's voice cracked. It was almost a shriek. So, something that she never did, it never happened. Okay, it's kind of the subject of the day, right? Okay, whatever. Probably is true. Whatever. I'm not gonna talk about anything. Okay. She said, "The hell." That is weird, though. What the hell? Wow. What? Okay, then. He says, show me. Raceland's voice cracked. It was almost a shriek. I do want to know. Placing the globe to one side of the table, where it hovered near him, Astinus reluctantly removed his hands from its crystal surface. The light blinked out. The globe grew dark and empty. The light blinked out. The globe grew dark and empty. Reaching around. Hopefully that's true. Oh my God, nobody else gets that. Chrysania would understand. Oh my God. Wow. Yikes. I have to be sure. That'd be so evil if, somebody prevented her from knowing what happened. Wow, though, that is such a weird coincidence. Wow. Reaching around behind him, the historian pulled out a great leather-bound volume and without hesitation found the page requested. He turned the book so that Raceland could see. The Archmage read what had been written, then read the correction. When he stood up, his black robes whispering about him, when he folded his hands within his sleeves, his face was deathly pale but calm. This alters time. This alters nothing, Astinus said coolly. She came in his steed, that is all. In even exchange, time flows on, undisturbed. Really? I hope that's true. So that would be so wonderful. Please, 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 please. And carries me with it. Unless you had the power to change the course of rivers by tossing in a pebble, Astinus remarked wryly. Raceland looked at him and smiled, swiftly, briefly. Then he pointed at the globe. Watch, Astinus, he whispered. Watch for the pebble. Farewell, deathless one. Oh my gosh. That is scary because you said pebble. I wish I could share what it means, but I can't. It reminds me of the Flintstones and the name of a baby I never had. I named her Betty. Uh-oh. That's true, though. That was like one of the most motivating things. I'm just talking to myself. I can't say anything else. The room was empty suddenly, except for Astinus. I mean, that's just so... Never mind. I'm talking nonsense. I'm not making sense. The historian sat silently, pondering. Then, turning the book back, he read once more what he had been writing when Chrysania had entered. On this date, after watch rising 15, Denibus. Yikes. That was, who? It was, I forgot his name. The guy that lives in Texas or whatever. Cleric of Paladine arrived here, having been sent by the great Archmage Phisidonis to discover the whereabouts of the portal. In return for my help, Phisidonis will make what he has long promised me, the globe of present time passing. Denibus's name has been crossed out. Chrysania is written in. Wow. Well, okay, so here's the next chapter. It's a tree, but it's dead. I'm tripping out about the great tree looming over Portland. There was a tree that I used to go sleep under, and I had this dream where this girl came to me. She was pregnant, but she didn't look anything like she does now. Actually, I don't know what she looks like now, but the last time I saw her, it was that girl. And anyways, what's scary about it, it means she needs to change before actually doing it, because the great tree, because Beach Street, okay, because Yam Hill that is parallel to Taylor Street goes to the great tree looming over Portland, and it's found by the King Street or whatever, so it's like the person has to be perfect or whatever. Yeah, okay, well. It starts off saying, "I'm dead," said Tasselhoff Perfect. Wow, that's true. I need to call my friend and make sure she's not dead. Okay, well. Crazy. Okay, well, have a good night. I'll do this every day. I'll do this every night. I'm usually not gonna do it in my car. I just have been working late and I'm taking off here. All right, have a good night.